Hi. Hi, guys. Waiting for a couple more people to join. It's Lauren here. I have a blog called Nosh on Posh and an Instagram account. You can follow me at Lauren_Nosh on Posh. And I am here today to talk about anxiety and depression. I've struggled with this on and off almost my whole life. And it's something that I'm finally able to talk about and be open about and share with the world, because the only way I got through it was by reading and Googling and listening to other people's stories that were similar to me when I was going through it. Weed, it does help some people. Weed personally does not help me. I've tried it. Usually gives me more anxiety, but it does work for some. But does anybody on here have ever suffered from anxiety or depression? Give me some hearts just so I know if anyone can relate. If not, that's totally fine. Hi from Morocco. Hi, Russia. Thank you. I actually just got off of an amazing phone call, and I haven't periscoped in a while, and I felt like this was the perfect time. I was actually almost tearing up a second ago because my brother sent me a really nice text message. I'm a blogger, and I am in yoga teacher training. Yoga has also helped me save my life. I know you guys probably hear all the time, yoga's the best. It's so good for you. Honestly, it is. Mentally, physically. Thank you. You like my Bahamas hat? It's about 90 degrees here today in South Jersey, so I had to rock the beach look. But so I have suffered from anxiety and depression really, really bad. And I started doing Baptiste yoga. It's a certain kind of yoga. It's actually a mixture of different forms of yoga, hot yoga. The room's 90 degrees. It is hot. It was kind of hard for me to get used to that because I did not like sweating. But now I am addicted to it. I go almost every day, and when I don't go, I feel horrible. I went on vacation last week for 4 days, and I came back, and I was like, I need to get to my mat. I need to get to yoga. It's like a medication. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people... No, I'm not talking about strip clubs. A lot of people look at me and say, oh my gosh, you're great. You have a great job. You're happy. You're this, you're that. Why are you depressed? It's not something people can control. And if you suffer from it, then you know that. You can have all the money in the world. You can have the best job. You can have kids, an amazing husband, everything. But sometimes it just doesn't matter. Mine is part chemically. Some people are just situational, which is still just as hard. I do think situations flare up depression and anxiety, of course, because it's in your head, especially anxiety. Anxiety is thoughts. It's all thoughts. If any one of you have ever had a panic attack, it is from thoughts, and you will not die from it. You'll get through it. You need to breathe, and you need to remember it's going to pass. That was the best thing that I could ever have learned, to remind myself that it's going to pass. It always passes. No matter how bad it is, it always passes. Today, I'm not too anxious. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. I'm so excited there's people on here. So it always passes. If you want some of my backstory, I am more than happy to share it. You can also follow me. I need to start blogging about this because I haven't yet. My triggers, my jobs. I've quit 3 jobs for my anxiety and depression, and I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. deathly sick sometimes from it. And I knew I could do it. I could do my job. I was good at my job. But it just, something in my head, in my body, I couldn't do it. Certain days I just couldn't get up. I couldn't go to work. I laid in bed. There was weeks I didn't get out of bed. It's horrible. It's really one of the worst illnesses to have, I think, because people can't physically always see it. And I think that's the hardest part. And not everyone understands. I have a lot of friends that don't understand. And I've finally come to be okay with that. That's okay. They don't need to understand. They just need to be there. And they don't have to say anything. The strongest thing that you can do for somebody who's suffering from anxiety or depression is to physically just be there and be silent. Sometimes I don't even want the noise. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear about it. It gets exhausting. Your mind is already racing from your anxiety and depression, that the last thing you want to do is talk or listen to somebody else. So if you don't know how to express that to somebody, you can just ask them nicely, whether it's your friend or your husband or your wife or your sibling or your kid. Can you just be there? Exactly. No rescuing. Hold the space. Are you in yoga? SMG? That's what I learned too. You tell them everything's going to be okay. It's going to pass. I'm here for you. And just be there. It's amazing. Shara, thanks, Shara. That's great. I have an amazing friend named Shara who I just met recently in my yoga. Is that Shara, the Shara I know? I don't recognize the name. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're on here. You're amazing. So the reason that I am on here is because I am in 200-hour teacher training, and I am also I just signed up with my friend Shara and a bunch of other people, and we are going to level 1 in New York in CCD. I don't know what CCD. OCD maybe? I don't have OCD. Yes, you do need to overcome your triggers, but sometimes there are a ton of triggers. Triggers all the way from childhood, most people have, including myself. And I have also learned, I forget how to block people. Try the church. Yes. I'm not an extremely religious person, but that does help for some people. Hi. Okay, sorry. So anyway, I signed up for level 1, and it is a week-long boot camp after you have your 200-hour teacher training. And they're having one in Phoenicia, I think it's called. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. In upstate New York. It's about 4 hours away from South Jersey. And I'm going. I'm totally coming out of my comfort zone. My hair's a mess. You don't want to see me without my hat today. I'm totally coming out of my comfort zone by doing this. I don't really like to travel alone. And I am going on this week boot camp, and it's going to be probably hell, but it's supposed to change your life, and it's amazing. And it's a week of inquiry and yoga and eating healthy and exercising and digging deep into yourself. And I just had a phone interview about this boot camp, and they have to go through, your medical records and ask you questions and ask you why you want to join and why you're going to the program and all types of questions. And though I told the woman my background and how I suffer from anxiety and depression, and yes, diet is key. Diet is definitely key. I'll talk about that in a minute. And the woman said, you're going to dig deep in this program, and you're going to do a lot of self-inquiry work. And are you going to be able to handle the stress and cope with what comes up? And I didn't even have to think twice about it. And I said, yes, I am. And before I would have said no, and it would have scared the shit out of me. I probably wouldn't have signed up for this actually about a year ago. But I said yes. And I know that I can overcome anything, and that the gift that I have been given with anxiety and depression has made me a stronger person. It's made me me. I've overcome amazing things, a lot of things. And I know that I can manage what comes up for me because I know how to manage it now. I know how to manage my anxiety. I know how to manage my depression. Yes, some days they're worse than others, but I know that I'm not going to die when I get a panic attack. The depression is going to pass, whether it lasts a day, a week, or a month. It will pass. It always does. Sometimes it comes back, but I have been through a lot of work, therapy, ECT, brain spotting, diet, nutrition, over 30 plus types of medication. I mean, if you have questions and you do want to ask me, I'm almost 30. Feel free to message me. You can private message me on Instagram, Lauren_Nashanposh. You can also email me, nashanposh@gmail.com. I would be more than happy to answer anyone's questions. What did you ask? I'm sorry. I'm not reading all the comments. But yes, I would be more than happy to answer anyone's questions. I know that. What did you ask? And no, you're not going to keep on being depressed. You're going to get past it. You will get past it. But yes, diet is another major thing. I am very sensitive. Yes, I know. Try Jesus. Thank you. Diet is I'm very sensitive to a lot of things. I've learned that the hard way. Medications I'm sensitive to. I can't take cold medications. They make my heart race. I was actually in the hospital a week ago for the flu. I was really dehydrated, and I can't take Benadryl. I also am very sensitive to foods. I can't have a lot of sugar. It makes me anxious. I can't have a lot of caffeine, and I love coffee. So I drink a lot of decaf. There are a lot of things that I've learned about my body throughout the years, and yes, it's hard sometimes, but you have to adjust, and I have to just have a healthy lifestyle. I can't have a lot of alcohol. That's a depressant. There's just things you learn, and everybody's different. My strengths and weaknesses might not work for somebody else that has depression. Weed, I have smoked weed. It does not help for me, to be honest. It sometimes makes me more anxious, but I know for a lot of people it does work. So if it works for you, great. I do think everyone's different, and what I do might not work for you, but I am giving you suggestions because maybe it will. Hopefully it will. Does anybody have any questions? Yes. Fun, hiking. I do a lot of yoga. I don't know whoever just joined. I'm in yoga teacher training. That is my godsend. And that's what works for me. Some people like to run. It doesn't work for me. I've done the gym and cardio and yoga. Actually met hot yoga. Yes, hot yoga. It makes you sweat, and it cleans you out. Hot yoga, Baptiste yoga in particular, is the kind that I practice. I practice many different types of yoga, and this type in particular helps with your mind.